3, 2, 1. Right, well, after a failed attempt of the first one, we can give another go now.
Yes.
This is the second time of trying to record episode 2. First one, not so great. Had some technical issues. That was weird. Mine just stopped recording.
Yeah. Well, there was a mix of technical issues and me issues as well.
For the benefit of those at home, I've just started my Freshers Week. Second year going into Freshers Week, and I've been doing the last 3 nights straight, and I mean, what do I look like? I look like...
You look like Sonic the Hedgehog forgot to stop at a wall.
Well, see, you know how bad I was that day? Is I don't even remember recording it very well.
And that was really... Well, I had woken you up 2 hours after we said we were going to do it,
yeah.
So, you know, oh well, I'll let you off. So, let's go into it. Also, I think it was just a bit boring us talking about it, so we're just going to go over a few of our highlights for Saturday and Sunday for Reading before we can go on to our next one next week or whatever. I think we got quite a few listens on the last one. To those who tuned in...
is the last one already up?
Yeah, mate, I put it on Reddit and everything.
Oh, nice.
16 plays, Will.
That's pretty good.
If you are one of those 16s, we greatly appreciate your listens.
Because that's more friends than I have on Facebook, so thanks everyone.
Well, exactly. So we're going to go over some of our highlights. We're not going to go over absolutely everything we saw because it's not quite worth. We're going to go over some of our highlights and we'll go over what we did see, but we won't go into detail of, yeah, that was great. I think we started our morning, 4 days of festival at this point?
Yeah.
Struggling.
Yeah. Well, for us it was especially hard because we got silly on the Wednesday.
Yes.
We polished off a bottle of gin between us and thought we could keep up with some 17-year-olds and Zannies. So,
oh my god,
yeah, it hurts talking about it.
You can't keep up with people on drugs when all you've got is alcohol.
No. Then again, you shouldn't buy drugs, kids. So,
kids don't do drugs. Okay. But we started off the morning going and seeing a few bands. It was a bit of a slow start for us, but we did see some really good stuff. We went and saw a band called Blocks, who were really cool. They were a bit much though, a bit try hard, but they do have an amazing song called Coke, which is about cocaine.
And any other time of day, feeling better than we were, it would have been a great set. We would have enjoyed it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe an early Friday slot would have been.
They had a great energy and a great stage presence. So
yeah,
I think the problem
definitely
was the way we were feeling.
I think that's certainly to do with it. She did irritate me a little bit, but hey, hopefully she never listens to this podcast. Otherwise, she might tell me off. Then we went and saw Protégé, who were a cool reggae band. Brought the sunshine out, which was really happy. Followed by Skindred, who are the metal version of Protégé, which was a lot of fun.
So yeah, afterwards we go see. We head to main stage for Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park.
Yeah,
and a recent new album.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know when he released it. It was this year.
Yeah, amazing set. Really cool guy. Did a little bit of his own stuff. Little bits and pieces from a couple of the old
Fort Minor and
and one incredible, quite emotional performance of In the End.
Yeah, definitely emotional to say the least. It was certainly one that I think will go down as sometimes you can go and do a whole weekend of Reading and just go, yeah, that was really solid. And then there are flashes that I have of certain moments over the years. Seeing Rage Against the Machine when I first saw them was one of them. Seeing Madness on the main stage. There's certain flashes of years which were like, wow. And that was definitely one that will go down in history.
It was also sort of, I think it was one we weren't kind of expecting either.
Yeah. I kind of knew that he was going to play some Linkin Park, and I was like, well, when he plays In the End, I'm going to be in tears. I didn't realise. So for those who weren't there, he basically said he wasn't going to sing any of Chester's parts, and that the audience had to sing it for him. Oh my god! There's footage of it online, which broke our souls a little bit.
Well worth checking out though if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think if the WWE were writing about this, they'd say it was a Reading moment.
Yeah.
Like a WrestleMania moment.
Well, certainly for me, it's up there in top 10s of Reading.
Oh, really?
History.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Such a big...
Yeah.
I can't remember the other 9 that I'd think of, but...
Well, I think one of the really cool things is that for me, Linkin Park were always a band that I really... They were like top of my list for need to make sure I see. So following obviously the tragic passing of Chester, it was just one of those that was like, right, okay, that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
So to see that was huge. It was absolutely huge. I'm so happy we did it because it would have been so easy to brush off.
No, I agree.
From there, we then moved over to the NME stage for the first time for the day to go and check out one of the bands that I was probably most excited to see for the whole of the weekend, which was Brockhampton.
Dua Lipa. Oh, yeah, Brockhampton.
So Brockhampton are this like 13-piece rap crew that have come out of Texas. They've got an Irish guy and a No, not Dominican Republic.
Fact check.
A guy from like one of the Caribbean islands with them. They're basically like a big crew of designers and musicians and producers and rappers and singers and guitar players and all sorts. So they're really cool. Definitely harbour back to some of the great rap crews of past. One that you didn't know a lot going into, right?
I had not heard a Brockhampton song before we went to see them live, which is kind of like great because that's how I experienced it for the first time, and it was a pretty huge event.
Yeah,
one of the best crowds of the weekend, I think.
Oh my god, it was. There are talking back to memories of Reading. There's few times that I've been that rammed in that tent.
Yeah, we were behind the second barrier, and still it was.
Yeah, well, we started off in the front.
Oh yeah, but we
started off in the front, and within 2 songs had to move.
Yeah.
It's been I can remember Catfish a couple of years ago and there being that busy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing Odd Future in there, which is probably quite comparable to Brockhampton.
Yeah.
Obviously they've all gone on to be huge in Odd Future, but the energy was just off the chain. I still can't get over it.
And especially for a band that hasn't actually at that time hadn't released an album.
Yeah, they kind of had like
a lot of
mixtapey albums and stuff, but they're certainly. I don't think they'd ever played in this country before. That could be fake news, but they're not. They're pretty new. They released 3 albums last year, but they were like long mixtape type albums. Just the energy was crazy. It was absolutely electric, and I don't think you even need to know the music to enjoy it.
Well, I didn't, and I did.
Yeah,
I think Smokey was the same as well.
I think Smokey probably was the same. Yeah, it was definitely fire. But yeah, they came out with 1998 Truman, which is an amazing record, and played all their classics. What was funny was they sent a message out to the app saying, "Make sure you come early, because we're planning on doing an extended set."
Yeah,
and then ended up turning up late. But yeah, I think that was probably. Looking back on the whole set list from the weekend, I think that was my biggest highlight.
Yeah.
So yeah, really chuffed that I got to see them because I think they'll go on to be absolutely massive.
No, I think you're right. So it'll be probably main stage when they're back.
And the rest.
Yes. So after Brockhampton, we went to see a really cool band, Happy Meal Limited.
Yeah. Definitely.
Really cool and a bit scary, intense.
Yeah. Quirky. Good descriptive word for Happy Meal Limited.
But still pretty great.
Yeah.
How was
a lot less people in the tent. I remember thinking not quite as bad as when we saw Le, but certainly less than I would have wanted.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, did you see it there? I just managed to say every single thing apart from
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say, carry on.
If you cut the silence out of that bit, it'll be quite funny. That'll be fine. I think it was what was really great about them. I mean, I've been trying to go and see them in London. They've played about 6 gigs in London since I first come across them, and I've missed every single one of them. So for me, it was just great to finally get to go and watch them. I'm just going to make sure I'm still recording. I am. Good. So it's great to finally go and see them. They have this crazy art project going alongside of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Where they're all dressed like people from the Rocky Horror Show. And just have the most crazy, ridiculous sound and are really exciting and energetic. So to go from crying at Mike Shinoda to then the energy of Brockhampton to then bumping the energy back up with Happy Meal Limited was like, what the fuck's going on?
It's a bit of a going over the second rise at Thorpe Park, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
Bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. I was like 2 loop-to-loops back to back.
Yeah.
But no, they were great, weren't they? I mean, they were so exciting.
Very good.
We were, I think by this time, a little bit squiffy.
Yeah.
So it was probably a good time for us to...
It was 4 o'clock on a Saturday, so we were probably wankered.
Yeah, we were pretty tanked up by then. Yeah. So, no, really great to finally see them. For a band that, again, still don't have an album out. I remember they only played a few songs, though.
They did, but we were late there, weren't we?
I don't think we were. I think we arrived as they started. Just.
Oh, okay, cool, that's cool. Cool.
And they were great.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is that they probably only have 5 songs to play, number one.
Yeah.
And number 2, it's Festival Republic. Festival Republic isn't always that big slots. They're quite small.
No, yeah, through the day, yeah.
So, no, thoroughly enjoyed them, though. They were one of your highlights, right?
They were, yeah. I thought they were really... It's just nice to see something a bit different. Not like different. I mean, you could even go as far to say a bit fucking weird, but...
Yeah.
Like... I mean, the track... Which one is it? To the Door.
Yeah.
Is a really cool sort of alternative rock song.
Yeah, well, that's a bizarre song, isn't it? Because it
just
starts like a cowboy record.
Yeah.
And then goes into like a cabaret record.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember seeing that and just being like, woo.
Yeah. Recently, I have a lot more time for bands that do cool, weird stuff like that.
I think the word you're looking for is... You're trying really hard not to say weird because you don't want to be offensive. I think what you're looking for is challenging.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it challenges you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of punk does that, though, I think.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
I think they you could describe them as punky, actually.
I would.
Yeah, they were great. Absolutely loved them. We then went and caught the end of Sum 41, who brought out Mike Shinoda to do Faint, which is one of my favourite Linkin Park records. So I'm counting it.
Yep, might as well.
Then, by which point we managed to find Smokey. We were pretty drunk, but decided we were tired and needed a little break because we're far too old. Well, me and Smokey are, you're not. And went and saw Pale Waves, and I was like, all right, boys, there's only one song I want to see. And then they played it first. So went and saw Pale Waves, who we struggled to get into the tent anyway, because as I said before we went, and we recorded that video at Richfield Avenue, why are they playing the Festival Public stage? That is a foolish, foolish mistake. They are too big. Mm-hmm. So I went back and had a little break at the camp, where we bumped into our little 17-year-old neighbours who are adorable. And we're chatting to them, and they're like, we asked them who they'd gone to see that day. I don't think they'd been in yet. I said, had you gone and seen, I don't know, whoever, Mike Shinoda and whatever? And they were like, no, we literally only listen to hip-hop. We only listen to rap and hip-hop. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound like a good thing to do. You should expand your horizons. To which point I then said, well, did you go see Brockhampton? They went, no. I said, okay, but you must be going and see NERD. And they said, who's NERD? And I'm like, you can't tell me you only listen to rap and you don't know who NERD is.
Doesn't that remind you of being sort of 16, 17 when you don't really have your own music taste yet? You're sort of still... Well, for me...
I had a well-established music taste at 16.
But for me, I was still taking on the influence of everyone else and my parents. I wasn't, listening to new stuff. So it was a bit... For me, spending time with them was a bit of a throwback to being a chub,
It does remind you how foolish you are when you're young.
Yeah, exactly.
I quite enjoyed that.
See, look, in a couple of years, they're going to look back and think, I spent 250 quid to go see 2 acts.
Yeah.
I sit in a campsite for 5 days.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. So I remember, and I said to them, they said, who's NERD? I said, it's Pharrell Williams and the Neptunes. And they were like, who's Pharrell Williams? I was like, no, come on now. Don't be so bloody ridiculous. Is he the guy that did Happy? All right. Out of everything that Pharrell Williams has done, you're reminding him for Happy. Okay. To which point, I then said he did Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yeah.
And they said that Lil Pump is a better MC than Snoop Dogg. And at that point, it got heated.
For the benefit of you at home, Jack isn't a violent man.
I'm not a violent man.
But
it got close.
I mean, sometimes man needs a slap. You know, he didn't lay hands on a 17-year-old boy. Don't worry. But I saw the glint in his eye. That thought,
yeah,
I get away with it. Ooh.
Yeah, I had a big I publicly had to go at him in front of his friends.
I think
who were laughing
whole
at him.
Cap frozen look.
Fucking ridiculous statement. By which point we then went to watch NERD, who were thoroughly enjoyable, and were. One of those bands I never thought I'd ever see, especially at Reading, but it was just one of those bands that I never thought I'd ever see. So see Pharrell is great.
I think they're my daily blackout.
You never remember a thing on Saturday.
No. That's why I don't do.
What's that about? What's that about?
I don't know. I guess you know, if I was sat here and I'd have a couple of beers, I'd probably remember because of state-dependent memory. But it's 5 days, Jack, and drinking, and I just can't.
And you're currently on the 3.5 day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll let you off. I remember being happy though, but I can't picture their set.
They did a really good mix of things that Pharrell had done and lots of NERD stuff. Yeah. And it was just bouncy and fun and exciting. Really chuffed to got to see NERD.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Check and make sure I'm still recording.
Another one of those good sort of opportunities presented by Reading, especially being a secret set. I mean, that's a pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was initially supposed to be Skepta's slot, and when he pulled out, they replaced it with NERD. It just took a long time for them to confirm it. Yeah. But to announce that a week before, that's just weird.
Yeah, there's a bit in that.
It is pretty weird. Next band?
Well, glad I did. Next band, I believe. We saw was Spring King.
Yeah. I think we went back and had another little break, didn't we? And then went back and caught Spring King. We got there. I think it was about 3 or 4 songs from the end. We managed to get there. Right. I honestly, talk about Blackout. I have a flash, similar to a flash of Pale Waves, where I can remember seeing them.
Yeah.
But I can't really remember anything else.
I remember walking in and you putting your hand on my shoulder and saying, "You need to go in that pit and slap someone." So, so I did.
I think I remember that. I think me and Smokey sat and watched it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I remember they finished on Animal, which is a track off the latest album.
Yeah, that's a hell of a tune.
Great, I mean, to write some good songs, you know.
Yeah.
Go back to the last one, City, Detroit. It's So Dark.
Yeah.
I think when you do big things in your life, you remember certain albums you were listening to at that time. For me, moving into uni last year, the first Spring King album was one of those.
Okay, that's cool.
So
there's kind of a nice little bit of matrimony there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, matrimony, is that the correct word?
It's more than 3 syllables and sounds smart, so it's fine.
Yeah, if it's not, it's poeticness or something like that. Poetry.
Whatever.
That's cool. No, I like them. I mean, I discovered them years ago when they. I remember Zayn playing it before they went on to be the first track that he played on Beats One. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking they were great. Well, we're recording, babe.
I'll bring you Chris.
Okay, it's fine. We can cut out bits where I eat Chris.
Hi,
Lauren.
And he says hi, Lauren. I'd give you a crisp, Will, but I can't give it to you through there.
That's fine.
Thanks, babe. Yeah, so Spring King for me, like one of those bands that I discovered. Actually, I discovered them years ago with Mama, that song Mama, which I think came out on one of their EPs.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that when it came out, and then I loved City, and it was one of those that I had in my head but didn't know what it was, and it wasn't available to get anywhere. so I had to like pirate it from somewhere before it was released. And I love that song. But when I went to see them, I don't know why, man. It's similar to Death from Above. I really struggle with singing drummers.
Well, why is it you find that? Do you find that it looks unnatural? Or
right, this is good. I'm eating.
Because I remember, that's all right. We'll mute your track while I say this. I remember years ago listening to the first Arctic Monkeys album, playing Need for Speed. You said the backup singer
That's fine, though.
was the drummer for the bit in.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is what's
I don't know. I find there's something about it for me that I just find really self-indulgent.
Right.
It's weird. I don't know why. I have no rationale for it. I can't explain it at all.
You know, at least you don't. At least you're not racist, I guess.
It's just drummer singing prejudice.
It could be worse.
I don't know. I find it really weird. It's along the same lines as, but then I don't mind that as much. Like someone singing and playing piano at the same time. I think it's being sat down and singing.
Maybe that's an episode.
Maybe I think it might be something to do with when you're
you don't have a childhood trauma with a singing drummer, do you?
But something along the lines of when you're a drummer, you're basically in control of leading the rest of the band.
Yeah.
So if you're the singer as well, then it's almost like everyone else is working for you.
I suppose it's a bit like as well that you don't necessarily have a front man. In your traditional sense, you have your Mick Jagger prancing around the stage, whereas everyone's in their zone playing music. Yeah, the guys on the guitars might be jamming out a bit, but there's no sort of, maybe not so much interaction with the stage or with the crowd. Oh,
you're opening that up. That's right. You got it right there. Anyway, though, I do really like them. I just prefer that. I think they're one that I prefer to listen to than to go watch, and I have no rationale for it. From there, we nipped over to Enemy Stage to go and catch the return. Sorry,
the Radio 1
stage. The return of Pendulum. So Pendulum were at one point before you started going to Reading, probably one of the biggest bands in the UK, and they ended up going on to like headline festivals. The third album was absolutely enormous. And then they just said, we're breaking up as a live band.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think dubstep was becoming really, really huge, and they just kind of were like, we're done. So great to see them back, really. And I always thought they were going to headline the festival one day, but I don't think they're quite big enough anymore. But they
were perfect for the...
oh, my Lord.
Radio
the tent, again, the energy in that tent was huge. Because they're kind of a rock band, whilst also being an electric group. They're hot on the heels of the Prodigy in terms of their style, so they definitely fit into Reading as one of those acts. Even more so these days, but really brought a party. What was your knowledge of Pendulum going in?
I knew Tarantula.
Did you?
Yeah, of course I knew of them. I'd recognise a couple of songs, but I never. Again, another one I'd never listened to or invested much time into, but since then, listened to it on my way home from work. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
That first album, changed my life when I was 15.
It's because I walked through a really, dark alley, and if I listen to Tarantula, it makes me feel really hard.
Yeah.
Strong.
It's a dark song.
Yeah.
Is that first album that you listened to? It's called Hold Your Colour.
Possibly. I can't remember without looking.
Okay. It's there's a song on there called Through the Loop, which samples Charlie the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, does it?
And it's like, there's no earthly way of knowing which to... and that's a dark, scary tune. Just that on your dark walk home through that alleyway. I thoroughly enjoyed that set. For me, it was redeeming, and I just really want them to bring out a new album and be really popular again, because that was an exciting time for my youth.
Yeah.
And I think that having that hard and aggressive, scary music is much better than relaxed, chill house music. So, yeah. They ended on Hold Your Colour, and that really was following the day we'd had so far with the energy, it was really good to see them. And then going in to go and see Kendrick Lamar, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Who tore the house down? Talking about Kendrick.
Yeah. You were there for the whole set. I missed part of it, but I was there towards the end, and that was insane. Like,
I think you watched about the first 5 tracks with me,
yeah, I did, yeah.
and then you guys went off to go and try and see Papa Roach.
Me and Smokey tried to go and see Papa Roach, but we got there and the crowd was sort of right out to the bank, so we thought, you know what, we'll just go back and watch a bit of Kendrick. But then I got hungry, and when I get hungry, I
need to eat.
I mean, you know what it's like, Jack. Yeah, I need to eat, otherwise.
I don't think you got hungry. You got quite tired, and then you were like, I should probably eat, and then you ate, and then you were like, oh my god, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to ever take drugs. You just need to eat an ostrich burger.
Yeah, got my second wind. My third and fourth later that night.
To bring it back to Kendrick, I mean, there's only been one other or two other rappers that have ever headlined Reading, so to see him headline was absolutely fantastic, and it's such a risky move.
And all the criticism that they've got this year for it, and
yeah, and it was so worth it.
Absolutely great, yeah.
He came out with. I was thinking about this the other day in the shower, believe it or not. But he came out and played. He was doing like a load of ninja things where it was like Kung Fu Kenny, and then he came out and played DNA, which is a massive tune off his new album, and then went into all the classics. Missed out quite a lot though. He didn't play anything. I think he might have played King's Dead from Black Panther.
Yeah,
with J-Rock. But
that's not the one you would have expected him to do from Black Panther, is it?
You would have expected him to play All the Lights, which is the pop monster. Didn't play Black of the Berry. And actually, if I was going to critique it, he didn't say anything.
No, it was sort of just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Late as Reading.
Yeah. Right. So that would be my only critique of it. But what we did get...
He could have done Bad Blood with Taylor Swift, couldn't he?
Yeah. Well, where was Taylor? He could have brought her out as a guest.
Yeah, I know. He's
selfish.
Smokey would have been pumped to see that.
I know. He loves a bit of Taylor.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think he was absolutely brilliant. I had seen him a couple of years before, so I knew he was up to it, and he had the back catalogue, and obviously his new album's even better. So, of course, he was going to smash it. I think he ended on "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe."
Yeah, he did. We were shouting it at people on the way home.
Yeah, and we pushed right to the front for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really impressive. I mean, what an amazing Saturday night headliner. I was so chuffed with that. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And managed on the way home to clock someone else.
Oh, yeah, we did. On the way out of the arena, luckily Papa Roach was still on, and we, after failing to see him the first time, tried again. We just managed to sort of sneak around the corner. Couldn't see anything, but we could hear it. Caught their last song, which was
The Last Resort.
Last Resort.
So we're counting it. If you see the big one, you count it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I can't comment any on their performance or anything like that because I didn't see them all. But I mean, fucking great to hear that as the last song of a Saturday. I mean, the atmosphere in the crowd was going all the way out to the very back. So
almost up that little ramp.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, not really a lot I could say about that one except great to see him. Awesome performance. Did you enjoy it?
Papa Roach, I'm pretty sure I've seen him a couple of times before. But I mean, who's ever gonna moan at walking home and seeing Last Resort live?
Exactly.
No one's ever gonna worry about that. Like that's.
I've never had a soundtrack that good in a taxi before, so
it's just like bumping it. Imagine like bumping into him and going, "Mate, do you mind just performing for us?" And I'll walk home. So no, yeah, really great. Nice little send off.
Wicked little end to the day. That
I like to think of it as Kendrick's encore because he didn't do one.
Right. Okay. Fair dues.
So yeah, Saturday was pretty banging for us. I thoroughly enjoyed Saturday. It was one that one for the books, that's for sure. The problem is
another day where we saw so much as well.
Yeah, not quite as much as the day before. I think we only saw 14 on Saturday, but 14 bands in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to get tickets for Mike Shinoda, NERD, and Kendrick alone, I reckon that's 350 quid's worth of gig tickets.
If not more.
if not more. So, yeah, I'm really chuffed with it. Really chuffed.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Saturday absolutely brilliant. We're going to go into Sunday either later on or not. Anyway, so yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed Saturday, and one for the ages for sure. Hopefully next year will be just as good.
Yeah.
We must be due some updates soon. October. It's October the 1st, so there should definitely be some new releases in terms of updates.
Definitely, yeah. Well, something to look forward to. So it's some more material for the podcast.
Absolutely. Right, on that note, let's see you later.
Nice.
See you next time. Bye.
Right, bye.